Hi, this is Eric and Josh with the Wine Club Group, wineclubreviewsandratings.com, and today we have the shipment from Uncorked Ventures. This is the Explorations Wine Club. You get a bottle of red, a bottle of white. It is $40, and unlike on their website, they show it packed in straw in a wooden crate. We have a cardboard box, and it's packed in cardboard, so it's very disappointing. Of course, you get the tasting notes. And like I said, we have a bottle of red, bottle of white.
Can't wait to see what you got.
There we go. All right, I'm going to let Josh introduce the wines. He's a little better at that than I am.
Okay. This is an estate-grown Chardonnay. It's a cooler weather Chardonnay. It's from the Central Coast, Santa Maria Valley, which is talking 15 or 20 miles from the Pacific Ocean. It's a little cooler climate there. You're getting the fog and cooler air from the ocean. We normally associate this region with Pinot Noir, but they do make some excellent cooler weather Chardonnay, so I'm anticipating, this is Cambria Catherine's Vineyard Chardonnay, I'm anticipating a little more green apple and pear kind of tree fruit character to this wine than maybe your standard Sonoma or Napa Valley buttery, rich butterscotch caramel flavor profile. So let's see what happens.
Toasty, buttery, and popcorny. Oh, just what I need. Pineapple. Ah! You're gonna block my shirt. There, put it in the sun. It looks gorgeous in the sun. Alright, so we poured it up here. Give it a swirl. It smells like every other Chardonnay.
It does. It's got a little more butteriness on the nose than I anticipated. I was only guessing when I made my initial comments. It's got a nice kind of straw, light golden color with some green notes in here.
Yeah. Lots of butter on this. This has not been refrigerated. It was sitting in my hallway.
Best way to do it.
You think?
Absolutely.
So room temperature, which...
I mean, a little colder would be nice, but when you start getting your wines really chilled, it mutes the flavor.
So you're not talking refrigerator, maybe in a basement.
Yeah.
We'll get you down
to... For tasting purposes. For your back porch in the summer, hanging out with friends, poolside, or, fire hydrant side, however you roll. Cold is nice, but in terms of tasting wine and trying to get all the nuances and character, that mid 50, low 60s is a really nice temperature. So I mean, what else do you get from this?
Well, this is from the Explorations Wine Club from Uncorked Ventures. It's 2 bottles for $40. We do have a coupon for 15% off, so you're saving $6. Unfortunately, shipping these 2 bottles was $16. So when all's said and done, you're paying close to $50 for these 2 bottles of wine. It takes a lot, to impress me at $50 for 2 bottles. I don't think this is doing it. It's a good wine.
It's a good drink.
But it's not worth $25 to me.
No, it does have a really nice long finish, though, which is, great.
So you would drink this alone, or what kind of food would you pair it with?
Well, I hate to disappoint our viewers, but this is not a very good food wine. It's a white wine. It's a California Chardonnay. This is almost 15% alcohol by volume. That is way, way, way too much alcohol in a wine.
To go with food?
To go with food. I feel it overwhelms anything you're going to eat with this.
So you use it before a meal? Or even just by itself in the evening, like tonight?
Yeah, in the industry we call these happy hour wines.
Okay.
They're just great to enjoy by themselves. With the nice strong cheese or a really, powerful like carbonara sauce, this might be good. It's not completely useless with food, but it's not everyday food friendly. You're gonna really have to search for some foods to pair well with this.
Great. I can see.
This is like,
it's pretty.
It's like intense.
Yeah.
It's big.
It's like, you know what the funny thing is with the sun coming through? It's just like, I'm a very visual person. It's just all butter. Butter.
Yeah, it is. You can see all the particulates in it.
Yeah. All right, we're back with the Boom Boom Syrah, part of the Explorations Wine Club from Uncorked Ventures. And this is from Washington State. And Josh, you want to talk a little bit about the wine?
Sure. First of all, Washington State. This is from the Columbia Valley, a huge appellation in Washington State. Interesting that it is what we call an AVA, American Viticultural Area. We think of a small area, a small geographic area where grape growing is prime, but yet this is a huge, millions of acres of land that cover eastern Washington and parts of Oregon. This region is bifurcated by the Cascade Mountains. So to the west is Seattle and Puget Sound and all that, and we think of rainy, wet areas, which grapes don't particularly care for. But on the other side of those mountains, the east side, it's very dry and arid, and the mountains play a major role in keeping it dry by casting what's called a rain shadow and keeping that area dry and arid, and the wine growing regions are fed by the Columbia Valley River. So that's a little bit about the region. Syrah, which this is the same varietal as Shiraz. When we think of Australian Shiraz, we think of big, full, rich, over-the-top, concentrated reds. With this, we can probably expect something a little more subdued, a little more austere and elegant, but still some nice body, some good complex flavors. And Syrah or Shiraz is pretty much always peppery and a little spicy, and is good blended with other reds, but also very good by itself. So why don't we give it a shot?
Alrighty.
Getting some plum, blackberry, a little pepper on the nose. It also has sort of this may sound strange, but kind of a meaty aroma too. I'm getting, and if you try Syrah from France, from the Northern Rhone region, you'll really get that. So I'm getting sort of that same varietal characteristic as some of these Northern Rhone French reds, which is, to me, an excellent sign. You're looking at 13.5% alcohol by volume, so that's manageable. When you get into these very high alcoholic wines, we call them hot. You can kind of feel the heat on the back of your tongue, and they also usually pair very poorly with foods. But I think we can expect a better fare here. Very nice. Smooth, what we call fine-grained tannins. Tannins are that mouth-drying component you get when you drink red wine. Well, fine-grained tannins means that it's got some grip, but it doesn't completely dry out your mouth. Mm-hmm. It's a little more pleasant to drink. And there's also a nice little acidic kick at the end, which is kind of what makes wines go well with food, is that acidity. And we call these components, we say the wine has some balance and some structure. Some nice red fruit characteristics, but also some very slight, earthiness, and just kind of a complex, neat little wine.
Yeah, I definitely get the fruits. The tasting notes said tobacco and tar. I'm not getting that.
Yeah, me neither.
There's certain wines that when I've tasted them, I just get the memories of my father coming home from GM. And he has the tobacco or the smoke in his jacket and the leather jacket, and it's just like that. Your memories are triggered by those smells. And
Sense memory, yeah.
And this, not at all.
Not at all.
It does drink great by itself, but I could also picture a big juicy steak sitting next to this bottle.
I think this would be great with some lamb. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think this would be a good lamb wine, but I certainly wouldn't disagree on steak. Would be excellent. Braised meats, really good.
So this is the second bottle from Uncorked Ventures Explorations Wine Club. 2 bottles, $40. We have a 15% off coupon at wineclubreviewsandratings.com, which brings it down to $34, plus $16 shipping and handling. So you're looking about $50, a little over, for 2 bottles of wine. Worth it? No. These are, this is a good wine, but I can't say it's a $25 bottle of good wine.
Well, I mean, I think both wines are good.
Right.
Yeah, neither wine is bad at all. They're both quality wines from quality vintners, from quality regions. They're just, frankly, they're not worth that money.
Right. But if you're looking for some, specific West Coast wines, Uncorked Ventures only picks wines from California, Oregon, Washington. If you're not sure, if you're giving it as a gift and you're not sure what the person likes, you are getting a bottle of red, bottle of white. You can keep it down to 1 shipment instead of some that require you to purchase multiple. So I'd still say you might want to look at some other ones, but they're good wines. So we're going to be working on this bottle tonight. Cheers.